Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another episode of the RK Football Podcast. And this week we've got David and Stu with
Hello.
myself, Matt. Obviously, Christmas is coming up, so we did try to get the Christmas jumpers out. David has let us down, but he has gone for green, so I will let it slide. So,
Yeah, and as I said, I've got the next best thing underneath. So what do you think of that?
Oh,
What do you think
oh.
of that? That's just as good as a Christmas top, isn't it?
am I
Fantastic.
right in thinking that'd be like 2010?
It's about
Like,
2010, yeah.
yeah, about
Yeah, good
2010,
shout.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
But
but
no Christmas top, unfortunately. No. Sorry to let
oh,
the team down.
unbelievable.
No.
I know. But we'll start off at Liverpool. Obviously, a fantastic result on the weekend against Brighton. And let's be honest, I think that we are looking at a player who could be Liverpool's future talisman in Hugo Ekitike. I mean, I think he's fantastic to
Oh,
watch.
he was so good. Like it's
Mm.
just, I think it's obviously it does help that he scores in the first, like, what was it, 30 seconds? I think it's like the quickest goal of the season so far.
48 seconds, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's just obviously on our Super Six that kind of screwed us over because obviously I don't think anyone put like a minute on the
No,
the fastest
no.
first goal, did you? I mean, if you did, impressive, but no, no, everyone lost that in that one. But yeah, no, it was just. I think it's like, as I said before, like it's just when he's on the pitch, we're just better. It's just he was at his hold when it was said before more times the way he hold up, the way he just somehow has this ability to just get the first touch and then just all of a sudden just accelerate past
Mm.
defenders. I think how many times you see him, like most people would try and shoot, but he just keeps going past defenders. And yeah, I think it's just having him. It's first time in a very long time that obviously we just like have all the, as we've said multiple times, have all the things that have gone on this season for Liverpool, and obviously it's starting to go up a bit. But no one can ever say that who Ekitike hasn't been, 100%, one up, well, one if not up there was alongside the best player. But yeah, it's just so good to see, something positive
Mm.
from all
Yeah.
those signings we've played. Everyone's been negative about the other signings, but no one was ever gone, well,
Mm.
Ekitike, that was a waste of money. It's like some people going around saying, well, I think we kind of conned Frankfurt here because we've got one hell of a player here because they could have got
Mm.
more money off us
Yeah.
than he did.
I
Absolutely,
think.
yeah. I think. Go on, Matt.
Go
Sorry.
on, David. You go.
No, I was just going to say that. I mean, like, obviously he is performing well, which is good. But I think, given the season that you've had as well, just how kind of patchy and sort of miserable, really properly miserable in spots it's been as well. How important this player has been. I mean, could you imagine where Liverpool would be without him? So I
Oh my
think
word.
it's
Yeah,
not
God.
again. So it's just not the fact that he's playing well, but the fact that he's playing well in a season that has gone tremendously wrong for Liverpool and Arne Slot in most
Mm.
respects. So I think all credit to him, and I think you'd be in a really devastating position without him.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think as well. I was watching him against Brighton, and the difference between him and Hugo Ekitike, and him and Isak, I should say,
Mm.
is that um, Ekitike has that confidence to create the chances himself. Like
Yeah,
he will try and do that thing. He does trap back a bit as well, but he does help out in the midfield a little bit as well. So he's got a
mm,
lot to his
good
game,
work, right? Yeah.
and and I think that fits in more with Liverpool. You think of the likes of Roberto Firmino, and he used to do that as well.
yeah,
Isak is a very good striker, and he will come good. Like he's too good not to at the end of the day. But this these two transfers kind of screams. Do you remember when they signed Andy Carroll, and at the same time they signed Luis
yes, I do.
Suarez?
Yes, I
Mm.
do.
Like it was a
Yeah,
it was a record signing for the club, and then they brought in Suarez. Suarez was the better one, and Carroll obviously he left to
Newcastle.
go West Ham, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
right.
got,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we obviously, on the previous podcast we know who he's playing for now. So was it Dagenham and Redbridge, if I remember correctly? So
Oh
that
yeah,
tells you a lot. Tells you a lot where his career's
Yeah.
gone. No offense,
yeah.
but but yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
but yeah. No,
Mm.
I think of Isak. It's just when I've like watching him, it's just I think it's just you could obviously see he hasn't got the confidence just yet because obviously he just takes that extra touch where like sometimes he sits at all what like when he's on the edge of the box so he's got the ball instead of like maybe going I'll run at someone or do what Ekitike does. He seems like he's a bit hesitant. Maybe that's because of
Mm.
lack of starts or because of a situation where he's in, but obviously fitness and stuff. But obviously that's not really an excuse now. But like I think it's just more like I just think it was as I think I said when we got it, was it Ekitike. It's like he felt like a Liverpool signing,
Mm.
person that great age, like you got a young age, has potential to become more than he is, too good, and then Liverpool are very good at creating those kind of stars, and obviously. But then Isak, like, didn't feel like that kind of signing, but obviously we're all happy we've got him. But he's got to work really hard to get that get back into that team, because I think Ekitike is definitely like that. He's our main striker now. I just don't see why
Yeah.
you would, because obviously he's our top scorer, but I think he didn't play for like a couple of games. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. It's like,
Why do you
so
drop him now? Why drop it? Why drop Ikitike for Isak?
nah,
What is he offering now?
no, he's
Like,
got to
so
basically,
Yeah,
yeah,
just because he paid more money,
yeah,
exactly.
just
This,
why why would you? Yeah.
mm,
I mean,
yeah,
if say we drop Wirtz for a couple of games, and he's like,
Mm.
so it tells you a lot, and then he's worked his way back in, and he's had, I think, very impressive. Obviously, people are still really trying to still do the whole zero,
it's.
the no
I'll
goals
be
or
honest
assists,
though.
but
It's. I do get where you're like what you're saying that the performances like you can see when you watch his game he's getting better, but I'm obviously not going to be the first to say this, but after 15 games in the Premier League and you haven't actually produced anything,
Mm.
but oh,
that is very worrying.
uh,
Not
it's
actually
I
part of the
think it's
final touch in the game.
I get what you're saying. Because obviously, I think someone said rightly that I believe it, maybe not everybody else, but kind of believes foreign verts is kind of like that kind of example that sometimes that was it we you know how much we love stats on this podcast, how much we rely on them for everything. This kind of proves that, like, if you just looked at the stats and gone look at no goals, no assists, what you go flop, horrible. But when you actually watch him play, he's like so involved in everything we do. I think
Yeah,
like he's at work rate and it was every like the 1-2s, the kind of he's in the middle, but you can always find him he's everywhere on the pitch. He's always working.
Hmm.
Yes,
yeah,
with the money, yes, you're thinking we should have, but I think I'm quite happy with, like, because obviously like I said, we took him out, but he came back obviously, I think, like the West Ham game, and then obviously he's just been steadily kind of improving. I think eventually when it clicks, but I just again, it's because of the price tag. But from what games I've watched, I'm really impressed by him. I think I'm just like, I don't watch him and go, wow, this guy should really not be playing for us. Like, you can see what he's trying to do, and I think it'll get there in time, because obviously it does help that the team finally feels a bit solid now, because obviously the new little
yeah. There's a bit
formation
of
with
confidence back as well. You
yeah,
can
because obviously
tell.
we changed the formation at Inter Milan to kind of like was it a diamond midfield, and ever since then it's kind of look less vulnerable on the back when we lose possession. That's kind of nice, because it's maybe not the most interesting football sometimes, but at least I'm not having heart attacks every time where there was the opposition and it
Well,
was a counter attack. So
yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. There were times when I did watch the Liverpool game, and I was sitting there thinking, if Allison didn't have the game he did, Liverpool would have been getting a lot of stick for the defensive work. I
yeah, I
do
think
think, like fullbacks, I thought they actually played quite well. Like Kirkes was probably his best game for Liverpool
yeah, I
since he
agree with that.
joined the
Yeah,
club. And who was on the other flank? Connor Bradley, like he played pretty decent as well. But
Mm.
well,
Van Dijk and Kanate, they just look so slow getting back that um like a part of me does think slide in, not tackle the player, but slide in and just like stop the ball getting across the box. Like so much running back, but no actual like last ditch
yeah. I
try and
mean,
block the ball or anything like that. Get it something in
we
the way
were
of it because that ball goes across, and he could have got it if he slid in.
they had
So
a couple of good
yeah,
chances. I got to be honest, in that second half.
mm,
Like first half, I think. Yeah, well, there were at least one or two good chances of 1-on-1 with Allison. And obviously, when it's Allison, it's kind of his bread and butter. So we're lucky we've got a keeper as caliber as
as good
Allison.
as
But yeah, I
him.
mean,
Yeah,
on another day, it could have been a different story. Yeah, I agree with that in a way, because obviously, Brighton, again, we're Brighton a good side. That's why I was a bit kind of nervous, because obviously last season we played them, and obviously we won them at half time, and then obviously second half, Mo Salah done what Mo Salah did in that season. But Brighton's always been a kind of like a bogey team for us. So I kind of like that how we won that and how we kind of limited them to little couple of chances is good. I mean, but yeah, I mean, another side on a different day, it could have been a very different story, but it's less chaotic than it was. I mean, I think it's more in the second half we looked a bit vulnerable, looked a bit off
mm,
it, but like, yeah, I'm, I think it's just more optimistic that we don't look as vulnerable. Yes, you can still get chances at us, but we don't. It's not like every counter attack anyone's got at one point. I think at the start of the season, it was just everyone. If you've got decent wingers, you can do us. Like,
yeah.
but now it's like, yeah, we're putting bodies there, so it's not as easy. But yeah, there's still problems, but this system change has kind of limited it. Like maybe like so it's a bit less rubbish, but we've still got things to work on. But
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we won a game, and it's when we played really well, in my opinion. And yeah, and obviously obviously got to talk about the was it Mo Salah coming on, and you wouldn't have thought he came out with all those flamboyant things like a week ago because
Yeah.
he had a smile on his face.
Well, Salah, I think, should be very, very grateful to his teammate Ekitike for winning them that game because I truly believe that if Liverpool hadn't won the game, or had drawn, or just had not as good had as good a result, I think the bad feeling, the bad mood around Anfield would have intensified on Salah. So I think he should be very, very grateful to his teammate for that. I mean, it was funny. I was always thinking about his comments, and you mentioned Wirtz as well, thinking like when he came out, obviously with the infamous interview, was it last weekend now? People say, "Oh, despicable, deplorable. You shouldn't be doing this, selfish, blah blah blah." And I was thinking, like, is it actually the most selfless thing he could have done for his teammate? Because is this the first weekend since the beginning of the season that no one has mentioned the name Florian Wirtz? Maybe he did him a favour a little bit, yeah, it was good. It was good. I was quite surprised to see Salah on the bench, to be honest. I really thought, as many people must have done, that was the end of the relationship between him and Arne Slot. I was very surprised, and all credit to Slot. He had to obviously contend. He had his presser before the Inter Milan match, and he knew these questions were going to come, and that the majority of these questions were going to be about Mo Salah and his inflammatory interview. He fielded the questions well, and he obviously had a sit down with Salah on the Monday. They had a chat. Obviously, things were sewn up. It still remains to be seen whether or not Salah is going to be at the club beyond January. We can have a chat about that if you want. I don't think so either. People were saying about Ottawa's match. Was this match at Anfield, was it an apology or the beginning of a goodbye? Exactly, yeah. And I personally think, I don't know what you think, Stu, that it might be the beginning of the end for Salah at Liverpool, to be honest. I mean, yeah, again, just say very quickly, sorry, go on, man.
Club, for example, like if this wasn't any club that we supported, like say it was Aston Villa, like we've can't not been it. Say it was Aston Villa and Ollie Watkins done the exact same thing, we would all be sitting here now and saying that game was his goodbye. Like we probably would be, because I don't think you can okay that behaviour. I really don't.
No,
I think
not
it's
at all.
absolutely atrocious. I really do. Like we didn't okay it with Newcastle when Isak done it, so it shouldn't be really okay if Newcastle if he does it with Liverpool.
That's what I'm saying as well. I think it's and that's why I think Salah should be extremely grateful that Liverpool won that match. That's what I'm saying. They won the match against Brighton 2-0. It's all happy. It's all smiles. Crowd are singing his name. If they hadn't won that game, if Salah had come on and had another stinker and Liverpool lost that game, which Brighton are having a good season this season, could have happened. I think again all of that bad feel would have compounded, and that kind of it would have droned on for even longer.
Exactly.
So I think the fact that they won obviously helped the situation. Winning always helps, doesn't it? But
I mean, it's interesting because obviously Joe Gomez came off in like 20 minutes, I think it was, because of the injury. So kind of had to. We came on probably. I don't know if he was ever going to come on, but earlier than he would like. But I don't know. I mean, obviously last week, obviously when he done the comments, we were like, yeah, he's out. But after obviously. We said we are right, Slot. Yeah, he's really handled it really well. The idea that basically what solved this is basically getting two people in a room and having a frank.
Exactly, which is what they should have done in the first place. Which is what Salah should have done in the first place. Start all this media. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it was quite fascinating, because obviously there was a lot of talk. Like obviously put that picture in the gym, and everyone's like, oh, he's trying to, get the attention. And then, but what was fascinating, I think, was there's pictures of him meeting up with Henderson in London. And there's rooms like he's gone to talk to his former colleagues, like former players, to say like, obviously we don't know this, but like, is it pure coincidence that he's talked to people like Henderson and all that, and then all of a sudden he goes into a meeting and then it's kind of not resolved and he's back in the squad. So it makes me think that maybe these former players were like, yeah, you should probably go in and talk to them, because it's not going to end well. Obviously Henderson can sit there and say stuff like, well, I left in that kind of cloud, and look where I ended up at one point. So it's not the grass isn't always greener. So, but I don't know. He just looked. I think for me, it's like, yeah, you could sit there and say, but it felt like he wasn't. He felt like he was working for the team a bit more in this game than he was. Like he wasn't. Because
do you know why I think that might be, though, Stu? Is because I think during their sit down or whatever, I think Slot obviously said to him like, look, you're not happy. I think what may have happened is Slot said, we'll let you go in January. Just put in some good performances for us for the last couple of games, and we'll let you go on your terms. Just please, just just don't completely throw the toys out of the pram.
It might not be January. That's the thing. I think
maybe.
From what I think is obviously if you said like he's leaving in summer, like they've waited that long, I'm not against that because obviously we got the 2 years. We knew we're probably only going to get another one anyway, so it's not a complete shock. I don't know. I mean, I think if someone said was it LeBron best performance, like he looked like a different, like he had energy backs. Like the thing I said, because he hasn't played for 3-4 games. What a shocker for guys his age. You know, you don't play him every game, and you selectively use him and utilize him as a kind of like what he is. You can get the best out of him. So I don't know. Obviously, we've got an entire month where we don't have to really think about it. So that'd be all right. So
it'll be very interesting when January comes around. There is for me, there is 100% going to be a humongous bid that's going to come in and test Liverpool's patience, whether they think
Al Hilal are the likely
after what he did, let's get rid, or what they do. But they'll save it for another time, of course.
Yeah.
But one thing I do want to mention very quickly, James Milner obviously come off the bench. He's now 8 appearances away from Gareth Barry's record for most Premier League appearances of all time. I mean,
amazing.
Let's hope he does it. He is the biggest.
Yeah, he certainly will.
That is mental because I think I remember. I'm sure I'm aged a little bit, but like obviously remember when he made his debut for Leeds and he was one of the youngest like debuts of a player, and now he's like still going on. It's like it's kind of crazy, but I mean. Yeah, I think he'll get that. He'll get that by sure because obviously
he'll get it. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's just and also I like the way that obviously the crowd at Liverpool's like everyone was like applauding him because obviously we we still love what he did for the club. He was basically what Szoboszlai is trying to do now is what Milner was for us. He just play him anywhere and he'll do a job for you.
That wonderful, gracious Liverpool crowd who booed one of their own players before he'd even left to go to Real Madrid. Oh yeah. Anyway.
That once. I would
those wonderful, those golden-hearted Liverpool fans. Oh yes. Anyway. Sorry.
Right. I always have that one. Was it one time? And then all of a sudden it's like.
That was brilliant. That was so well timed. Well done. That was well done.
I had to say it's you. Sorry.
We'll move on to a team that is doing well. Should we say okay at the top of the Premier League table? They seem to be clinging on. Wolves scored 3 goals on the weekend. Very well done. Unfortunately, 2 of them were in the wrong net.
Yeah,
but one came from a corner, didn't it? Like was it come from the corner? It's like
it hit the back post and then bounced off of Sam Johnston's back, and then you're like.
They were doing so well, like they were holding them at bay, and it was just
my God.
So it's just like, when it was 1-0, it was like I was like, yeah, that's it. Like because obviously we kind of want, kind of Arsenal job because we want to kind of title race a little bit, and maybe
me and David don't because we need to be right.
I'm getting nervous now, Matt. Right, because I just want to say something very quickly about Arsenal, just because.
Okay.
What's being spoken about Arsenal is obviously their defensive injuries at the back, obviously with Saliba and Gabriel, who, as we know, when those two are together, they're one of the best, if not the best, centre-back partnership in Europe, right? And they're both injured right now, and the people who have come in to deputise for them, the 2 lads, are not doing as well as they should be, really. But I think they have just as much issue with their attacking play, Arsenal. If you just let's again stats, but let's go through them, right? Just their attacking players right now. Gyökeres 4 goals in 14 league games, no assists, and this wasn't a project purchase. This guy was brought in as an established striker to come in and say scores 20-30 goals and win us this bloody league, right? Eze, since his hat-trick against Spurs, hadn't scored in no goals, no assists in the last 4 league games. Saka 2 goals this season. Odegaard, he's been injured, but 1 assist, no goals this season. I mean, look, City, we know as well City's forwards haven't been having a much better time. I mean, we can go through them. Yeah, I mean, Jeremy Doku, who we've praised more than once on this show, 1 league goal this season. Reinders 2 league goals. Marmoush has been injured, hasn't played yet this season. Bernardo Silva, who's played every league game this season, no goals, 2 assists. Foden is coming into form now, but the difference is Haaland. Of course it is. I mean, he's only failed to score in 5 of the 16 league games he's played in. He scored 17 league goals, and that's the exact number of goals as Gyökeres, Saka, Eze, Odegaard, Trossard, and Marino combined. Right? So I mean, look, Arsenal have scored 30 goals, so they're not in big trouble. It's the second highest tally in the league, but second only to the team who are right on their tails now. And I guarantee Pep will have been delighted to see how much of a struggle Arsenal found it against Wolves the other night.
I mean,
It wasn't great.
I get what you mean. Like, 'cause obviously, it's basically it feels like the old school thing where basically if you want to win challenge for titles, you need a goal scorer. Like, and it's like, but obviously
like Gyökeres is dreadful.
No one scored more than 4 league goals
hate
for
it.
Arsenal this season.
I don't think they play to his strengths though. I think that's the problem with him. I don't want to use that excuse for because obviously he's kind of like they got him because he was basically he's in the box. Like just basically if you give him the chance, he'll probably 9 times out of 10 put him back in there. But they don't. It's like I always think now when you think about it, did they get him because they were fed up of the argument of well you don't have a striker and he just got him. And not really thought about maybe how to actually utilise the best out of him, maybe.
I think.
But my argument was that it's not just Gyökeres. All of our Arsenal's attackers are really not having great seasons so far.
The argument I have
one out then at some point.
To say about what you are talking about there, Stu, about are they playing to his strengths and everything. Gyökeres had in that game against Wolves, Arsenal played in 30 crosses in that game. That includes set pieces, but 30 crosses in that game. Not one of them was a chance for Gyökeres. Not one. And I'm sorry, but you're a striker. Why are you not in that position getting a chance in there? That, for me, I'm going to say it's pathetic. It is pathetic. He is not doing enough for me. He had a good chance. I think it was late in the second half. He turned his defender in. It was a good chance. He made it himself. Well done to him. But it's getting to a point where these are the games where Arsenal needs you to show up. You need to show up with the goals. And I agree perfectly with David what he's saying. If Haaland's doing it, I'm not saying you need to hit the same numbers, but you need to be getting the crucial goals, definitely.
Absolutely, yeah. And with the firepower that Arsenal have, there's no excuse. I think whether or not Arsenal are playing to strengths of certain players or not, they have the players. And even players I didn't mention, like people like Declan Rice has only scored 2 goals this season. I think Rice can contribute more goals than he has been so far. We've seen how strong he is from set pieces as well. So I think Arsenal have the firepower, but with City only 2 points behind them now, I think they really need to up their goal scoring at the moment. And I mean that was a risky. I mean, stoppage time winner against Wolves at home. That was bloody close to being a draw. Like, could you imagine?
You got a better goal difference for them now. I think I saw like Man City got a better goal, so they don't even have that.
No,
well,
exactly.
What's fascinating, I think, for me is obviously last week when they obviously lost to Villa, it was a situation of like, well, look at their next game. They've got Wolves. Oh, they'll beat Wolves. And obviously, was it Palace? Was it Man City at Palace? But then
we thought that was a tricky game. Yeah, exactly,
yeah, but then they made it look quite easy. Like
exactly, And look who Arsenal have next. Everton, and Arsenal have Everton away next. That's a tricky bloody game for. I did say a few weeks ago Arsenal would win. Yeah. Seeing them play against Wolves and struggle against Wolves at home, and City have West Ham at home.
And also Arsenal's away record last couple of games.
Yeah.
Not the greatest. Yeah. I mean, and obviously Everton's is home. Like obviously they have on and off, but they're normally good at home. So. Maybe we might have Man City might be top at Christmas. We just don't know. Don't know.
Oh, disappointed with Eze particularly. That he played so well against Tottenham and getting his hat trick and everything, but no contributions in 4 games. Nothing, no goals, no assists. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Wolves it just typifies their season. Like their best performance of the season.
Oh, they were so
close.
And
they shoot themselves in the foot. They just shoot themselves in the foot. Like, at the end of the day, I think that Wolves, I'm going to say it now, Wolves are going to go down as the worst Premier League side in history, I think, because they are so, there's you can't see where the goals are going to come from. I mean,
I don't know. We will have said that. I think we will have said something similar about Southampton. Do you know what I mean? Like we're still at this side of Christmas. I mean, I don't know.
Strad Larsen has to be the most disappointing signing of the season by a country mile. 60 million, and yes, okay, he wanted to go Newcastle, but he is completely down tools and he does nothing for him now.
I think the most bizarre managerial signing of the season will definitely be Rob Edwards from Middlesbrough. I mean, why on earth he decided to go there, I don't know. Well, we do know money. Yeah.
To be fair, I think last time I checked, Middlesbrough were playing better without him as manager anyway. So maybe it's a good deal for both parties, I guess. But no, but I mean, but the problem is that it's like Wolves. There wasn't a lot of it's not like back in the day when you sack someone. It's like, oh, who's the get us out of relegation problem? Manager. Sam Allardyce is available. It's like it's not. There's not really any
Sean Dyche is taken.
Yeah, well, he's doing really well. Yeah, he would have been the perfect pick, but
where's Tony Pulis? Is he retired?
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
No, he does the Bet365 adverts now.
Oh, good for him.
The Sunbeds, I think. I think he's one
Sure,
of them ones.
Good wholesome advertising. I love it.
If Neil Warnock can still manage, I mean, to like his age, like we can, and he was managed Aberdeen at some point for some random reason, and then left. But like the point is, he kept getting jobs. Is that he's like, why not get him? Get him in, like get some more.
I think a head of cabbage on a stick would be just as good right now. I mean, like I don't know. With a smiley face John on it with a pen. I think
unless something spectacular happens, we can probably not 100% guarantee, but 99%.
What do they need, right? Yeah, what do they need? So they're on 2 points right now. The 11 points is the record. So
they need to win their next game to avoid having the lowest points total
at this point.
They need to win, and I think it's against Brentford. I think their next.
I'll tell you now.
Brentford. We're at Brentford.
I'll tell you now.
Let me have a look. Yeah, Brentford, but it's at Molyneux, so it could happen. They could get the win, and then they're on 5 points
away from home, I think. But I mean,
come on, like.
Yeah, I know, but like, what I find hilarious is the idea that basically like that was a record that Derby had for so long, for like what, I don't know, like 7 or 8 years or so, a long time. And then Southampton have got the was it just about to stop the record, and then it could be outshone in a matter of a season. That tells you a lot. But like, I don't think. Well, yeah, I just don't think. I think it seems like their plan in these games is just to basically don't get thumped, and then hopefully maybe get a bit of luck. With like some stuff.
You can't play like that, can you? You just.
I know,
can't.
but then when you watch every highlight and when you watch kind of games, it feels like every game. Like it feels like they're just like Arsenal, exactly what they did. But obviously, it feels like they just know that they're limitations, so they just don't want to get, outdone. So, but I mean, unlucky for them. I mean,
I don't think it's all lost for Wolves. I mean, look, if you can get a point away at Spurs, we know how bad Spurs are at home. But if you're like a couple of minutes away from getting a point away from the league leaders as well, I don't think it's all. I think they can. I think they could be. I think they can do it. I think they can do. They're gonna get relegated. Make no mistake. But I think they can just about get. Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for you to say. Like,
no, I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna get rid of Rob Edwards, the other side of Christmas, and get someone else in, and that's who they're gonna get the new manager bounce off and get just enough points to.
It'll be hilarious.
To beat the 11.
Hilarious is the idea that basically it probably won't happen, but it'd be hilarious if it did. Is basically like Wolves find a way to survive. But then, what was it? Was it finds a way to survive? But obviously, was it? Oh, I was going to say something about Nottingham Forest, like sitting there going, like, what happens if they like decide, like they survive because of Wolves or something, and then like you screws up your prediction. But like,
did anyone have Wolves? Did any of us three have Wolves?
I put them have a decent season.
I probably had them like 10th or something. Maybe not 10th, but
13th or something like that. Because it's basically similar to last year. Because
stay up as well.
I definitely had like between 14th and 17th. Yeah.
But one other team that isn't playing at all well recently, and they're on as bad a run as form as Wolves in some ways, is Burnley. Like they have.
But they've had it. They've
looked like they've had it. They've just lost against Fulham for the first time since 1951, and run this stretched over 34 games. I did say Burnley to stay up. But I'm now looking at this Burnley. Yeah,
why?
Because they're defensively, they were absolutely brilliant last season.
And
I think that if Trafford was still there, they may have had a better chance. But I watched them against Fulham, and I do sit there and think, you just look clueless at the back all of a sudden, and it's like you are the same defenders that were there last season. It's not like you've had a complete overhaul here.
I mean, and also it's ironic, isn't it, for a very good defensive side? Corners, like seriously, like obviously was it Fulham's kind of was it I think second? I think was it Harry Wilson? Like definitely so glad I put him in my fantasy team.
Oh, of course
you didn't. Oh my
yes,
god,
I did.
Man. I've been having shockers last few weeks.
Was it ironically? I took was it Jack Grealish? I was thinking, no, he's not doing anything. And then I thought, well, who's getting a good score? And Harry was. And then I thought, I was tempted to take him out just before, but I stuck to it, and I was very happy when he got them. Was it 2 cups? But
I'm sure you were. Yeah.
There's words for people like you, but we can't say them on air.
Oh, don't be like that. I mean, but But to be
Well,
fair, he was as I said, we've said many
yeah,
times, if they didn't have him, Fulham would look. But like that, literally, that was it cross. I think it was like from the corner, and then he got across, and then that free header where just like no one tracked him or done anything. Like it was a crazy. It was one of those games. It's like it was a crazy game, but then you kind of know that basically, yeah, they've like the whole point of them was the defensive stability. That was like
Yeah.
this is what I put them to go down, but I said that out of the three, they would be the better ones. Obviously, that was a very bad take,
no,
but
they're only on 22 points, so there's every chance they
yeah.
could spiral back
Yeah,
down
but
again.
they're not
So
on a. But again, it's like as Sunderland has proved, it's basically like home records are the ones, and even they're still losing at home, so they've got to change something soon. Like, could that be a situation with the Scott Parker thing? 'Cause obviously, it feels like similar stuff again, where he's like, it's not, he's doing it in Championship, but not really working in the Premier League. But
yeah, my take on him was not good because I also said that if they did stay up, he would be manager of the season, and so far I am looking very.
You didn't say that, did you?
Yeah, I did. I
Yep,
did.
he did.
Oh,
He did.
that's a really outlandish take. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Well, it does
I
now.
think
Oh
he put
my
it.
God.
I
Yeah,
said
but
I've got.
This is me. Of
Yeah,
course,
we've
it's
got
not
yeah.
outlandish take.
we've
Of
got
course, I
I've got the
think it
graphic.
don't happen.
I've got the evidence because obviously I put the bits of like who's gonna.
Thank
I
you.
put
Oh,
Yep.
I
Yeah.
put was it who I put for top score? I think it was
I think we both had
uh,
Gyökeres, Matt, didn't we? For top
I
scorer?
no, I think one of us put
I
Haaland.
can't
And I
I
think
remember. I can't
I think
remember.
I'd put Gyökeres, and he's
Well,
letting me down.
like
yeah,
I
I kind of feel silly right now. I don't want to look back at my
yeah.
predictions, so I think I've got
The
them all.
Neither do I. I'd say there's some absolute shockers in there.
No.
I made the biggest mistake of the weekend. I'm going to hold my hands up right now, and it does lead us on to obviously the team that is catching Arsenal, and that is Manchester City. They obviously won 3-0 at oh god, who did they play again?
Palace.
Palace, that's it. Yeah, I actually did think they would draw that game, to be honest, and I
Yeah,
was
me
sitting
too.
there with that mindset, thinking I've got was it Igor Thiago up
Hmm.
front, and I've got Haaland. Igor Thiago's playing Leeds. Surely he's going to turn up against them,
I
get a
know
good few goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
So guess what? I put him as captain, didn't I? And
Um,
Haaland gets 2, and he gets absolutely
Oh
soddled, doesn't he?
no.
Oh, so everyone else
It's
has
always the
Haaland
worst,
as
isn't it?
captain. I'm like,
It's always the worst when you're like
yeah,
picking your team and you're choosing between two different players to make your captain, and you're like, oh, yeah,
yeah.
okay, I'll make it, and then this player obviously goes and gets a hat trick or something. You're like, oh, for God's
Oh,
sake. But yeah.
like, why did I debate that? Why? Why?
Best not to think about it too much because you'll only agonize later on. Like,
Exactly. But
Yeah.
Foden is like
not best not
playing
to dwell.
extremely well.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely going to give Tuchel a bit of a headache now because we've done that England squad
Yeah,
and
we
we
said-
didn't even include him in that midfield bit. But
Did
surely
you not?
now he's no. Well, in the
No.
midfield
Oh.
bit, I think we
You were
I
thinking
think
more.
we had him out on the attack, didn't we?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
fair,
now
fair.
the way he's playing, it's like, oh
Yeah.
god, he's
Oh,
he's
yeah.
but then
he's
again,
gotta play
when we
Is it
so well.
six goals in 4 games?
Yeah,
Six in
he's-
four in.
I mean,
Yeah,
He's in
it
great
was-
form at the moment.
Yeah.
No, it was a great finish for his goal as well. Like that was a
Oh,
really good
yeah.
finish. Like it was just, but yeah, I mean, like I said, it's one of those weird games because I thought like as we all were, it was going to be really tough. I think was really gonna was it we like City going to struggle and also it's going to be like I
They
said, draw
did.
would have been.
I think they did. To be fair,
But-
Palace were all over them before it went to 2-0.
So uncharacteristically, Palace were like, because obviously I think he had like a chance really early on that kind of was it. Well, the one was it? What was his name? I can't remember his name.
Dino.
Was yeah, like that shot.
Dino
Like, it was
Grigio
like,
is the best way to remember it.
actually, yeah, I might use that actually.
You're taking tips from the worst
But
pronouncer
why?
of names in the world.
Well, yeah, but I'm. Yeah, but I know.
Thanks,
I know.
David.
I'm not a. To be
Sorry,
fair, I
mate.
know I am. I don't try. So like half of the time, so because I know I'm bad at it. But like, but you know, it's I don't know. I think again, it's just is it another match that's just basically like yeah, maybe like Palace will like done well and creating chances, but basically when you got Haaland, it doesn't really matter. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
like it just it's like when you've got someone of that prolific up front, you can play mildly, not but your best, but when we just pop it a ball in and you can always put it back in it. What's the like? You
Yeah.
always got a chance. So
Exactly,
I think
yeah. And Haaland hadn't even done much up until his first goal as well. I mean, he was very little involved, and then just kind of boom, dink, goal, and that's it. And then he gets another one. Yeah, it's just like, oh my god, it's just inevitable.
Yeah.
No, but
I think what was it? Another player who I was really impressed by, and it wasn't even actually a City player. It was Adam Walton. I thought he was brilliant in the midfield. Like, yeah, so obviously he didn't have anything to show for it at the end of the game, but there were points in the game he was dispossessing these defenders so high up. His high pressing was absolutely fantastic
good.
to watch. And you can understand why England fans do rave about him,
Yeah.
especially obviously Palace fans as well. But it's one of those games where is it coming clear now that Palace are a very good team, but we're such a small squad, they get stretched by these big teams. They do get stretched by these big teams.
It's the European commitments, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the European. It's going to slow them down.
Yeah.
It's going to make them a little bit tired. And
yeah,
it was evident against when United beat them a couple of weeks ago. It was evident that City they looked a bit out in their legs a bit.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
no,
but
I think
still going well in the league. Where are they still like fifth or fourth or something?
Yeah, I think
they're fifth right now. Although if United win tonight, they'll overtake them. But yeah, still doing great. You know.
But I did see a comment on the vid, like Haaland, obviously getting the brace against Palace and everything. Well done to him. He's now on 102 Premier League goals, one behind Ronaldo. And someone put a comment which I thought was very interesting. The Norwegian's legacy is bigger than Ronaldo's in the Premier League era. And I was sitting there thinking,
when you say legacy, I don't know.
I'm like, well, he was the best player in the world when and then he won the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, we have had Rodri win it since then as well, of course. But he was like, and then he got the big move to Real Madrid afterwards.
I think in terms of purely play styles, Ronaldo was far more exciting to watch. I mean, Haaland is just a phenomenon. In that, just his pure numbers are just ridiculous and unprecedented. He's breaking records every week, but he's not particularly. I mean, a lot of his goals are kind of poacher-esque, kind of they're 8-yard, but in the 6-yard box, that kind of thing. He does score great goals. I mean, but Ronaldo had flair and skill, guile. He could score goals from long range. Goals, his passing was he was all over the pitch. He's so dynamic. Yeah. Whereas Haaland was a little bit more. I mean, don't get me wrong, but
he's an old coach striker in a world where basically strikers are not as prolific as they used to be, right? Because obviously, put him in the 90s, right? We'll be talking about early, was it mid 90s or like late 90s, right? And put him, the way he scores in that, he would absolutely we would do the same. But it's like, I mean, he's basically back in the day. You could always sit there in Haaland. What's his job? What's his job to do? Score goals,
and he does it. And he does it so well.
It's because we're so used to strikers doing more than they have to, and then they're linking up play,
like Benzema. Over the years,
it's just sometimes I think it's kind of obviously it's just it's slowly becoming that. It's like people just going back. Can we just go back to a day where the striker just does one job, just score goals? And Haaland's he might not do much in the game, but if you give him one chance, he'll take it. And I think
I think the argument I would make to when I saw this is simply this: if I had the money to buy one ticket and I could only see one of those players,
there's no question.
Which one are you paying to watch? You're paying to watch Ronaldo.
There's no question.
Take away the GOAT thing and everything and just base it on his time in the Premier League. I'm paying to watch him over.
And legacy, I mean, Ronaldo won Premier Leagues and a Champions League at United. Erling Haaland won Premier Leagues and a Champions League. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they both won, so legacy, I don't know. I think it comes down to who you prefer to watch. And to be honest, I think a lot of people would prefer to watch Ronaldo, even City fans.
I don't disagree with that one, to be fair. Cause
maybe not, that might be.
I mean, obviously, I think it's more, it depends, because obviously, Ronaldo's just got more to his game. I think I agree with that. Like, it's just you would want. I mean, there's a reason why he and obviously away from Man United, it was like revolutionised like an entire era. Like where Haaland's not saying he might not do that, but again, it's just a situation of it's not really a fair comparison, to be fair. But
I think another thing as well is that and this is the difference for me between the two is like you say, his numbers are ridiculous. In the 18-yard box, he'll get you all the goals that you need. But Ronaldo produced things that it was just insane. Like, there was that famous goal against Arsenal in the Champions League where he sprints. Like, he just absolutely legs it.
Bombs it,
yeah. And like that sort of thing, don't get me wrong, Haaland, could he do it? Maybe. But he was just insane to watch at times, Ronaldo. And I just, for me, 100% out of those two. But we'll move on. Obviously, we did have the time weird derby, the first one since I believe 2017.
And Jermaine Defoe play for Sunderland.
And who scored the other goal? Jermaine Defoe scored for Sunderland. Who scored the Newcastle goal? It was a 1-1 draw.
Was it Colaccini? Was it like someone weird? Like wasn't it?
Was it an actual striker?
Yes, it was a striker. I'll give you a clue. He is more famous for playing for Fulham.
Oh, Mitrovic.
Yes,
Mitrovic,
yes,
yeah.
Mitrovic. He
Mm.
scored the equalizer. No, it was well, whatever way around. But yeah,
He was
but then
decent.
obviously, Voldemort made his debut in the derby and
Good
I
header.
think scored the best own goal this season.
Very
It was-
unfortunate, I thought. I felt bad for him. I mean, I felt really bad for him, to be honest. He's having such a great season, and
Yeah.
you can see what he's trying to do, isn't he? He's just trying to knock it over the top and take it out for a corner. He's back doing his defensive duties, and he just kind of messes it. I felt bad for him, you know.
Everyone must be devastated if they had him in there for that up front.
Well, I bloody did.
my mate
I
did.
did.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
Oh, you did.
Oh no!
Yeah.
What's the dig
I'm
of
sorry. I'm
saying
glad I
that
didn't
then?
captain him. If I captained him, I would have frisbeed
that
my
would have been
laptop out the window. But yeah. But
it
no,
would have been like the
it's not
score
bad for
coming
him.
up, and or like score coming up on your phone, and you sit there looking at it, going, "Oh, he scored! Oh, wait, is that own goal? Oh, for God's sake!"
Couldn't believe it. Yeah.
I think Sunderland, obviously, that does move them on to, I believe it's 26 points for the season.
It is
Still on
26. Yeah,
yeah,
in
Still
seventh
being at home
place.
as well. Like that's
Exactly, they're rugby
Mental.
at home. I think I would even go as far as to say that I think this could be one of the most impressive newly promoted sides we have seen since maybe Reading. Do you remember Reading when they were in the Premier League and they finished like in seventh the season they came
Well, I
up
mean,
or something? Like just
Sheffield. I
Steve
think we put.
Coppell.
What about Sheffield United though when they first came up?
What, a
What
few
are you
years ago?
talking? What are you talking about? 2007?
No. When you remember that time when obviously they first was it Stephen? Was it Sheffield United came up and obviously had this new way of playing and obviously they finished like top 8 or something like that and then they obviously went down the season after. But that was
I don't
in.
remember that.
Oh,
Is
well, I
this
do.
before we were born, Stu?
Would it be not? I think would Sunderland not be a more impressive feat just with how competitive the league is now and just with all the money and
they've
everything
been
and just kind of
unbeaten at
Well,
home.
yeah, I mean it's just.
and being unbeaten at home, just how impressive they've been really in their individual performances, you know.
You could even
Now
put
the
Hull
season
in the
isn't over
argument.
yet. We're not even halfway through the season yet, but I mean, there's still. I mean,
Yeah.
what a season they're having at the
When
moment.
the idea that there were Europe's in there might be in their future. Like the idea that's like.
Yeah.
I was thinking like first season back, and it's like you might get like obviously Champions League, mate. Well, but if in any European football first season in, that's got to be.
Do you know what would be great? I think. I mean, mentioning the Tyne Weir derby there. I mean, it wasn't a great match, but there was a little needle, bit of spite. I liked it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Sunderland got into Europe next season and Newcastle did as well? Could you imagine like a Tyne Weir derby in like the quarter final of a Europa League or something like that? That would be amazing. I would love that. They would be
European night.
murders, honestly.
Get heated in the game. And
It did. Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, bit of
people go,
touchline
"Oh, calm down,
handbags.
it's been-" but no, this is what we
No,
want to
that's what you
see.
want. Yeah.
Exactly. And there was a crunching tackle. I think it was between Ukulele and
Oh yeah,
the
that
Newcastle player. And
he
it was a crunching
creamed
tackle
him.
when he gave a yellow and he gave a yellow card. And I was sitting there thinking, oh, don't give a yellow for that. Like, it was a,
Yeah,
like,
just glad he didn't give a red though. At least
that
it
was
was
normal
yeah.
back in that was normal back in the day. That was
Oh yeah, that was
back
just
in the day.
that was just a
Like,
reducer.
Frank
Yeah.
style, straight into
Yeah.
it sort of thing.
Loved
yeah,
it.
I thought I loved the game. But yeah, unfortunately Newcastle did come off that with a defeat. I believe I did go for a Sunderland winning that game, so I'm very
I
pleased.
think I went for a draw. Yeah,
I went for a draw. That's the thing. I went for a draw,
1-1.
and then for some reason I was just like, no, I'll go for. I shouldn't be doing draws, so I went for Sunderland, and obviously it worked
Did you?
out great.
Oh, so you both went Sunderland? Oh my god! I think I got 2 points in the Super
I
Six.
know,
I had a
I know.
shocker again, and in Fantasy League, everything's just going down for me at the moment.
It's
Like,
alright.
I can't
It's
not.
alright.
I can't
I would say
buy.
we've got you, but I don't mind you dropping. That's fine.
Yeah. You went ahead of me as well in the Super in the thing.
It's only by
too,
2
like,
points
oh
though.
my
It's only
God.
by 2 points because
I know. Yeah, so I shouldn't
Just,
whinge too much,
No.
but still, yeah. Anyway.
But the gap will get bigger. Just to let you know.
No, it won't. Well, I hope not. Please.
But we'll move on to a team who I think like they're so hit and miss at the minute. Tottenham. They
Oh, God.
obviously they got one last weekend against Brentford, and then they came to the City Ground. And let's be honest, I think that they were abysmal against let's be honest, not a fantastic Nottingham Forest team, but Callum Hudson-Odoi exposed Vicario in that game. He exposed him so much.
And also all their goals were spectacular. I should point out. Like I think was it one
Hudson-Odoi's cross.
Oh yeah, like it was.
Like-
Is it like a Ronaldinho thing? It was supposed to be a cross. Like no, he had a shot. He had
Yeah,
a shot there.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, because way off his line as well. The keeper. I'm looking at going, what are you doing? It's like just like he invited it, but It's just, I mean, it's just like the same old problem, isn't it? It's just like we're not seeing any improvement. Like, yes, you've got one, but you could always see against Brentford, you can say, well, I know this team because I used to manage them, so maybe he can work better. But again, I think again, it's similar to some clubs. I think it's just they brought him in to be like a safe pair of hands, didn't they? Like to be like defensive stability, like not as harder to beat, and they seem to be so wide open, like it's so easy to play against.
He's a risk taker, and I think that if you're going to be a risk taker as a goalkeeper, you have to be very good. Like Edison, when he used to do it. Like there's that famous game against Liverpool when Thiago Jota goes to slide in and take the ball, and he just casually takes it back off the line again.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He just had the biggest balls out of any goalkeeper I've ever seen, like in doing that. But like I said, you have to be very good at it, and I don't think Vicario is. Like, just play it safe. Don't go for the risky. Fling it up the pitch if you need to.
He's a strange. He's a strange keeper because it's like for me, it's like you can have you can have moments where you go, wow, he's actually a really good keeper.
Yeah.
But you have more. But you have more. Again, it's consistency. You have more chances that he's probably going to flop it or do something that's going to make a mistake than he is to have like a proper class performance. But yeah, I mean, watching that what's the highlights of it and seeing it, it's again, it's the same old. It's like again, it's similar. It's the same old problems. They're not really finding solutions to fix it. I mean, we're not talking about a Nottingham Forest signs that's on the up and up here. Like they've had their struggles as well, and they made them look so.
They did look impressive though. They did look.
Yeah, I mean,
I
think Spurs made them look better than what they are. I think that's the problem Spurs have at the moment. And again, I mentioned earlier on the 1-1 draw at home against Wolves as well, and just their home form in general. They are making teams look far better. It's like a United thing. You making teams look far better than they are when United are at their worst. But yeah, I don't know for Spurs. I mean, with Frank, yeah, I mean, look, he had a particularly strong start to the season.
Everyone got mildly carried away.
Yeah, got mildly. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, Frank, the prerogative, not the prerogative, the objective for this season, because we all know how badly Spurs did in the league last season. I think they finished 15 or 16. I can't remember which one. They won the Europa League, but I think that the Europa League win has been swiftly forgotten by a lot of people, to be honest. I certainly, I mean, as a United fan, I certainly forgot about it very, very quickly. But I think a lot of people have. I mean, it was such a massive high, and then I think Ange got the sack, and then it was kind of right back into it, and then Frank comes in, and sort of the objective will have been to obviously not have a repeat of last season's league form, and I would assume top 4 this season would be kind of thereabouts what they'd be looking for.
Where are they?
They're like 11th or 12th, I think. They're 11th. They're 11th. They're 11th. They're not
6 points off of 4th place.
Yeah, they're not doing great, but it's one win in 6. Their home form is abysmal, and for a supposedly top team, really, really bad in this entire calendar year.
Here's a stat that you might find interesting. I think it was I think I found was it Spurs? It says the Spurs regularly fail to generate any chance in whatsoever. They've got and their XG per 90 is now lower than West Ham.
Yeah, so that just tells
for creating chances. I mean, and like that tells you a lot. That. Like they just obviously they can't really defensively look shocking. Obviously they're not creating any chances. That's even more concerning a little bit. Because she looked so good last weekend.
I think for Spurs, and this is I think a fair point to make here. Thomas Frank is really under pressure at the minute to like get a bit of consistency going, because you do get the odd good result, but then they follow it up with like this, for example. Do you think that? Because he didn't win that trophy, the Europa League, like David said there, they swiftly forgot about it. Like this is a brand new team, the pressure's all on him. Do you think if Ange was still in charge and where they were in the table, do you think they would sit there and go, well, like give him a bit of time because he did just win the Europa League? Or
I don't know. I don't think so. I think if Ange was still the manager now, I think he would have been sacked by now, because the word from up top will have been, you won the Europa League, fantastic. First trophy since 2008. Improved the league form. The league form last season was terrible. Let's see an upshot in that. And right now we're 11th. We're sitting in in 11th place, 1 win in 6. We can't buy a win at home. I think he'd be under massive pressure. I think Thomas Frank has a little bit of good grace on his side, given that they were on the back of 3 good wins. Was it 2 wins and a draw in their last 3 games? So they had taken an upturn in form. And then obviously this latest loss against Nottingham Forest is exactly. So I think kind of looking online and things like that, and kind of fan responses, it looks like the majority of Spurs fans are still kind of on Thomas Frank's side as well as the Tottenham board as well. They are willing to give him time, and I think Thomas Frank said in a recent interview he needs time. Although he said
exactly. It's not his team
he
yet.
was fuming about that loss.
I think it'd be crazy to get rid of him right now. I think it's more like
there's no absolutely.
yeah. I mean, anyone that's called again, it's fan Discord, isn't it? You're always gonna have that. Was a couple of fans that like just got a couple of bad results, and all of a sudden it's like he's a rubbish man.
Well, I think no. What I was saying is that I think most Spurs fans are being realistic in the fact that there's no real cries for him to go. I think most Spurs fans are like, it's not great, but
more than the
he's only been in the job 3 months, whatever. Let's give him a bit of time. We're not dead last. We're it's not the worst. It's not the worst. And we're playing well in the Champions League as well.
And also how close the league is this year. Like I said, it's like I think similar to Liverpool as well, where if you could just get a couple of good results together,
you're shooting up the table.
Yeah, so I don't think it's not as it's they've put this defeat us is going to hurt, but again, it's not. This is not a season where basically you're like, if you just like example, they could go and have a good run. I mean, they've got us next, so they could win that, and then I mean, but if they play like that against us, then I'm looking forward to that game a little bit. I got to be honest. I mean,
I think obviously very quickly we'll just run through the other results from the weekend. Obviously you did have Chelsea win 2-0 against Everton, get back to winning ways. I was very happy with that. Cole Palmer obviously getting the score sheet, another clean sheet. We're showing a lot of promise. That's good. I think Vincent Maresca, personally for me, ignore it. It's just attention seeking. I don't know why, but
I don't know what was that about. Yeah, it was a strange little tissy fit to have, wasn't it? And then I don't know.
I just hadn't thought really, but yeah, I think.
Is it that?
Go on.
That was weird because it's like when you think about it, it's like there was a lot of positive. It was a good win. Obviously it was really good, and obviously had all this kind of positive vibes after that kind of bad couple of weeks, and then he comes out with those comments. It's kind of soured
I think because of
the
result in midweek against Atalanta, I think something's obviously gone on behind closed doors, and that's why he said it. Stupid, don't do it. Move on. That was a good result. Let's move on to Cardiff tomorrow. So yeah. And then obviously Aston Villa did win against West Ham. Very good result. Morgan Rogers at it again. I thought he's been very good. Let's see if they can keep up this very good run.
9 in a row now, that is. 9 wins in a row. Bloody hell.
I think they've got Liverpool.
Yes. United next. United next.
That's it. United, Chelsea and
at Villa Park.
Arsenal in their next 3 games. So very, very interesting times at Aston Villa.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there is one team I want to speak about. We've not been able to speak about them for a while because they keep playing Monday Night Football. And that is Manchester United. They are playing again as we speak. The game has probably just kicked off.
That's right, yeah.
2 players I did want to speak about, and I'll very briefly speak about one of them, and that is Mason Mount. I mean, he has really shown that. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't think he'll break into the England squad.
No. There's too much
if he does, it's because he's been absolutely brilliant.
I think he might have a shout for the squad. Starting 11, I don't think so, but certainly a shout for the squad. I mean, Mason Mount. I mean, he's having a fantastic season, and he's one of the bright lights this season so far. I think he's been one of our best players. And I read something today that if he's starting today against Bournemouth, if he plays more than 37 minutes, it'll be his longest stint in the starting team for a United side since he's arrived. So the longest time he's played in a United side since he arrived, which is good because he has been plagued by injury and kind of in and out of sides under previous managers as well. But he's having a tremendous season so far, and I hope he bags another couple of goals today. England squad, I don't know. We'll wait and see. Again, I'm always a little bit loath to kind of predict players about squads as well. I mean, I know we've done it before, but this side of Christmas, it's hard to tell because there's still more than half of the season to go. So
Well, I was talking about similar with obviously, don't know why Sky were doing this, but obviously probably because he was in the room. Was it Odoi? He scored like 4 goals in 4 games now, and obviously they're like, is he a shout for the England squad? I'm like, let's calm down here. Like, yes, he's got 4 in 4, but I think they just said it because he was in. I think they said it because he was in the room. They were like, well, we've got to be nice to him.
I think as well. I think that as well, but we know that the quality Mason Mount can produce. I remember when he was at Chelsea and
he was great.
Sung his praise
really
so
good.
much.
That's why we bought him.
He went to United and he's a wanker.
Who's the other player you wanted to mention, Matt?
Well, the other player I actually wanted to mention, and do you know what? I'm going to back myself here because I do.
Go on,
this. Here we go. Okay. It's the other player, Bruno Fernandes. And I think he is fantastic. I think he's a brilliant player. I would even go as far as to say I think he is the best attacking midfielder the Premier League has had this decade.
Okay, you're learning. I like it now. You're learning. You're not saying the
Now,
whole time. Like you're
before
starting to learn.
before
No,
no,
that can't be right.
hang
No,
on.
no.
Listen,
There's a.
hear me out.
Sorry,
Hear
go on.
me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. Okay. So, since January of 2020, no player has got more goal contributions than him. No one has got more goal contributions than him. Okay.
He's
He
been
has
great.
66 goals and 57 assists. Kevin De Bruyne in that same timeline, obviously. He's probably
the player
everyone
just
would
thought
sit
of
there and
there.
go, he's the better one. He's
It's
the
just
better
what I
one,
thought of.
surely.
Yeah.
I don't completely disagree with that because of he won titles, he won the Champions League, he won 4 Premier League titles in this time. So it is clear that he is definitely in that argument. But if Kevin De Bruyne is top, then Bruno Fernandes is 100% second. But I think there is definitely an argument for him being top.
Son be up there as well?
More of attacker. He's more of an attacker.
Yeah, he's
though,
more of
isn't
I
he?
mean,
I suppose so. Yeah.
Attacking midfield.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. But no, look. I mean, Fernandes is great. I mean, and there's not much more you can really say about it. I mean, like it's worrying. I think I must have said this on a previous episode. I think it was after United had won. I can't remember, but it's scary to kind of think where United would be without him. He's definitely. Well, I'll tell you. I'll give you this. He's been United's best player since he arrived at the club. Without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, he's been our most influential, and it's weird to think as well. I mean, like, and again with this season, kind of he's playing further back in the midfield. He does venture forward, but Amram does playing kind of further back in the midfield. So you kind of think he could even have more kind of goal contributions this season. But in any case, and. What's funny with Fernandes is that and like you mentioned, those stats there, the numbers that he's put together are phenomenal for United. And again, it's scary to think where United would be if it wasn't for him, But I think the one thing I would have that I think a lot of United fans would have against Fernandes is he does have a tendency to go missing. Particularly when United need him most, and particularly in big games. It's not happened recently, but.
Do you think now, Amorim seems to be getting the best out of him?
I think his attitude. I think his attitude has improved. I think Amorim's has improved. I think his attitude has gotten a lot better. And he seems like more of a leader on the pitch, and he doesn't shy away. And he's kind of you can see him organising, and he is getting goals. He is getting assists. He's been having a great season so far. He's one of United's key players, and like I said before, he's been United's best player since he arrived at the club. But yeah, and United are going good this season so far. And yeah, they're playing Bournemouth as we speak, and then it'll be going to Villa Park next week. So that'll be a big challenge for United. Although I hadn't, to be quite honest, I hadn't seen United getting a win at Palace a couple of weeks ago, and they did. So they kind of surprised me there. There have been a couple of surprises this season with United.
And you actually say in the podcast last week, because Wolves equalised while I was doing the podcast.
Oh God!
You said you watch us fall apart now.
Well,
they went and scored 4.
Then they scored and they won 4-1. Yeah, that was great.
I was the voice. Even
you were
Liverpool. Like I was sitting going, this like second half, anything can happen, and then
I know. I was getting nervous because what I'd said was that Wolves equalised just before half time. It was 1-1, and what I had said was, and it wasn't a lie. It was actually truthful that if you're having a bad season, play United, and that will be the kickstart to get your season going again. That just seems to happen for the last however many seasons. It just seems to be the case where the team out of form goes to United, and anyway.
Well, it's either that or top. It's either that or top them. Like that seems to be the two teams. That get season back going.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm delighted with United so far. Well, I mean, delighted. I'm just happy with that we're not losing games anymore. I will say that much. Picking up wins, draws, that's fine. And
he touching wood with that comment, because obviously you say that, and then obviously in this game you could.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, obviously, Look, we'll see. But Bournemouth are they've kind of dipped. But I don't know.
Well, but what Bournemouth have been like? To be fair, in that game, it's like I think they're like, was it haven't won in 6?
They've had a really bad dip. They haven't won. They've lost 4 of their last 6. They haven't won.
So
in a while,
I think if you could say it's the best time to play them. So maybe there's a good chance you get a result there. But yeah, it's gonna be a fascinating game to not watch, but keep an eye on.
Keep an eye on, absolutely. Yeah,
I agree. I think like because obviously if United do win later on, obviously we
Up to
don't know
fifth.
the result. They will be level on points with Chelsea.
Yeah, up to 5th place. Yeah. So
And apparently one of them is having a good season, and the other one is having a poor season.
yeah, well, it just goes to show, like you said earlier on, how close that kind of middle upper half of the table
Well,
is. That one
is
win can
so
propel you 3
close.
places.
Yeah,
You know.
it's
So,
like-
Exactly. Yeah. Like
Well, that's
I'm still in the camp that Liverpool are not in this title race. I've said
no,
it
but they're in the
out,
race for
and I
top
still stand
4.
with it.
They're out of the title race, but I think
Yeah.
they're definitely
Yeah.
within the top 4 right,
I'm not-
100%.
To be fair, I just want to get on a run. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Same.
As much as I like Carl's
I mean,
comments
for
of
United,
saying that we're still in it. I like his positivity, but he must have a bit. He must be saying something I'm not, because at the moment, if we can just
The
get a run,
consistency's not there. That's all.
yeah,
it is.
and
Yeah.
if you get the consistency back, then we can have a discussion, whatever. But like at the moment, it's
Yeah.
just like, I think we're top 4 race. I agree with that at the moment, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's like we're top 4 race was crazy last year, and it seems like yet again it seems to be like so tight in for those Champions League places. So it's kind of interesting this year.
Yeah.
Well, we'll leave it there for this week. Obviously, like don't forget to like and subscribe our video. We will be here for one more episode just before Christmas. But don't, like I say, share our content. We do want to hear your opinions as well. Any questions you've got for us, please let us know. Leave it downstairs in the comments. All right, and don't forget to like and subscribe. But take care, guys. All
Bye,
right,
guys.
See you later.
Yeah.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.